Great to have people here. My name is Neil. I am the creator of Fey Earth, indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures from folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside society. Unfortunately, we are down to players today. Tendai, who plays the delightfully mysterious Amanata, and Safi, who plays the somewhat shady sorcerer Feruz, could not make it tonight because life getting in the way of the more important things of Fae-filled fun. But we hope that we will see them back next week. And nonetheless, we will get back to our story. It's been a while since we played. I think, is it 2-3 weeks since we last streamed? I think this is 3 weeks. So it feels like 3 years. So it is great to be back. But before we go any further, who would like to give us a recap of our last session?
Oh my god, what did we do? So long ago.
We fought there were the thugs. We killed 2 of them. Then Feyruz had blinked out. She started screaming for help. Sent a message to Madame Gautlier, who then sent her guy with a carriage. And he was wearing glasses of true sight, so he saw us. We got, because Feyruz cast invisibility on us. The carriage was jumping through shadows, which was super cool. Mina was sick after it because it was like very bleh. Then Madame Gautlier was all like, "Oh, I have friends in the constabulary. It's totally not a problem that you killed people." Then there was a bit of a miscommunication because some of us thought we wanted to keep stuff, and we decided ultimately to come clean about what we had. There was a spear, the lightning and thunder damage, so the enchantment's going to be merged with Albert, which is going to also reduce the cost. We got some magical items, and out of character, none of us know this, but Mina's going off to an underground fighting ring. I think that was it.
Okay, that is 1d8 inspiration die that you can use for any one ability test.
I feel like I shouldn't have done that because Mina needs it.
So, it's Wednesday evening. Mina does eventually get back to Amanata's house. Our spellcasters have been spending the day learning new spells. Sylvia and Gwynn able to do so through simple meditation, learning their new spells, and as they do, Gwynn writing hers into her book of shadows, Sylvia being a druid, carving her spells onto little wooden discs that she carries using the Ohm alphabet. The druids of Fey Earth carve their spells traditionally onto their wands or quarterstaffs that they carry in Ohm script. Sylvia doesn't like the idea of going around with a big dumbass stick, so she has
I'm not a wizard.
She has little wooden discs that she carries hers on. However, Justine is a sorcerer, and as such, they learn their spells either directly copying from a book of shadows or through arcane research. So, Justine, you have picked 2 spells, I believe, and are keeping a first level spell slot. This is a fun mechanic that we have in our system, which I'm not aware of in any other games. I'm not saying that Earth is the best TTRPG out there, but it kind of is. Spellcasters, every time they go up in level, they learn new spells at each level. So the party's casters just got to 8th level, so they learn a new 1st, 2nd, and 3rd level spell. A player can choose not to learn a spell of a specific level and save that spell slot. And then when they go up a level again, at 9th level, they gain another 1st, 2nd, and 3rd level spell. They could combine, say, the saved 1st level slot from 8th level with the new one they get from 9th, and they get a 2nd level spell slot. So this is a fun mechanic that allows you as a caster to save spell slots to merge to make higher level spell slots, so that while you end up knowing less spells overall, you can learn more higher level spells. Okay, it gives you more flexibility over your caster, because At the low levels in this game, you're desperately trying to learn all the cool spells that you want to know. But once you get into the mid and upper tiers, a lot of the time there might be low level first and second level spells that you've no real interest in. So this allows you then to take more of the higher level spells. But you did take a second and a third level spell, Justine. That's correct, yes? So you've chosen to take the second level spell, Magic Circle. So you need to give me an arcane research roll. So that's pretty simple. This is rolling your d20, and then adding your magic score. You do not have any talents in the sphere of the arcane, but you do have a magic of 5, so you add 5 to the roll. Okay, and because it is a second level spell, you must get a 17 or higher.
Ooh.
So what did you get?
I rolled 12.
Plus 5 is 17. You got exactly what you needed. So after 2 hours of research, you learn that spell. Okay? Now there is our third level spell, which you've taken, which is the spell Mana Receptacle. Not to be confused with the mana receptacles that the party have been buying. This is a spell that sorcerers can learn with a temporarily turn an object of sufficient monetary value into a mana receptacle. It can be exhausted and recharged up to 3 times before it is destroyed. If you have money, you can get permanently enchanted mana receptacles from artificers, such as the ones that the party have bought off Madame Gautlier or found when they mercilessly murdered a man who was just trying to negotiate a better contract with his capitalist overlord. So this spell is kind of like makes nice, very useful temporary mana receptacles, and they can be stacked. So if you make a mana receptacle, you can be drawing mana from that and drawing mana from the one that you have already, okay? But the target number for this is an 18, still rolling plus 5.
$11.
Oh, total.
No, rolled 11, but it doesn't matter. 16.
Well, it does matter because the amount you fail by makes a big bloody difference. You failed by no more than 3. So that means you only roll once on the temporary effects table. So after 3 more hours, you do learn. Now, you do still learn the spell. So you do still learn the spell and add it to your Book of Shadows, but you do have a magical mishap while you were doing your research. And now we get to see the effect. So roll for me a d20.
What the fuck was I doing in college for like 4 years? 12.
Okay. All right. So, your body becomes lethargic and you feel like you're wading through water. For the next 3 hours, your speed is halved and you suffer a penalty to any dexterity checks equal to -3.
Okay.
So,
That's crappy, but it's
not
that
terrible. Because you
No.
did I believe you
Okay,
did get a permanent effect, didn't you? Yeah, Justine
bad.
has
The
yeah, you have 2 different colored eyes now because you've
Yeah.
got most of the time most of the time the effects are temporary, but if you roll unluckily or you fail by a really like terrible, like if you fail your magic research roll by if you rolled a nat 20 on the magic research, then you roll on the permanent effects table. If you rolled a nat 1, I mean, sorry. Yes?
Excuse me, Neil. It's also really funny that none of like NPC sorcerers are walking around with like feathers sticking out of their heads and like, different eyes.
None that you've met, but it is something that like does happen, and it's one of the ways in which people who know their spellcasters can usually identify sorcerers because they're usually kind of posh because they usually come from more wealthy backgrounds. So if you see a posh spellcaster, you'd be like, that's probably a sorcerer. But if you see an especially posh spellcaster with like, I don't know, weird colored nails or like little horns or something, like they could be fate touched or they had a magical mishap. Okay? But nonetheless, you do still learn the spells. Okay? So, I don't think there was anything else. Safi is not here, so we can't roll for Farouz. So we can be, if there is any hilarious magical mishaps, we can retcon that next week. Okay? But nonetheless, I don't think there was anything else that anybody had planned, was there?
I'm just going to take a nap for 3 hours.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Just very, very, very slowly go to the direction of the bed.
Yes. No, that's totally understandable. Gwynn, you do get a message later in the evening from Justine Gautlier asking if you would be free tomorrow to go for afternoon tea.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll reply and say yes. Most certainly.
Okay. You do have Moonlit script now, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So.
Let me just check. I think so.
Mm.
Or if not, I'll just use the arcanogram she gave me or something.
Well, there is the arcanogram as well. No, looking at it, you do have Moonlit script, yes. You could also reply with the arcanogram that she's given you, okay? Right. So, yeah, if there's nothing else that anybody has planned, we can just say that you all go to bed for the night.
Perfect.
Okay, right. So, you all go to bed for the night. The next morning, you just get up. People are pottering. Does anybody have anything that they actually had planned to do? It's Thursday now.
Bar hitting the book.
Are you starting to are you going to start, because we need to know when you start counting that, because you have to read it in 7 days and it's 100 hours worth of reading.
Yep.
So we do need to track. So we are saying that on Thursday the 28th you start reading the book, yes?
Yeah, and look, if I break the streak, I break the streak. I'll start again, you know? But I've got to start.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
So that's all you're just in your room for the day, reading for like 14, 15 hours solid.
Yep.
At this point, is Mina, she's just gone. We haven't seen her in a while.
Well, Mina came back that evening.
Okay.
Yeah, she did come back and had dinner with you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out, yeah.
But
then I left again for
the
like
next morning you
Yeah.
pop out again, okay?
or
So by the
whatever I'm
morning-
doing.
Is
Yeah.
she there?
Yeah,
or?
very early in the morning.
Okay.
So, Justine, you don't have anything planned, do you? Or I suppose actually, Justine, something that you could do if you wished. So the way your new spell works is, okay, you enchant an object to make a temporary receptacle for mana. It doesn't need to have been constructed for this, but the amount of mana that can be stored in it is 5 mana points per gold of value of the object.
Mhm.
So, I don't know how much gold you actually possess right now.
That's a very interesting question. Do I know?
Well, it should be on your character sheet if you've been a good player and been keeping track.
I think I started being a good player.
Okay.
78 gold sounds
Okay.
about right.
Yeah, okay. So, so you could, if you want, go off to out into the city to buy, like, what kind of an object do you think you would want to use to create a mana receptacle?
I think I'm going to try and find like bracelets for all my spellcaster gals.
Mm-hmm.
Because or like pendants, something
Okay.
like that. Because rings, I don't know the ring sizes. But I think bracelets or like pendants are a bit more universal.
Okay, so it's 5 mana per gold. So
Yeah.
what value of object would you be getting per pendant or whatever? Okay.
So how many of us are spellcasters or can cast
There
spells?
is 4 of you.
4 of you. Perfect. Do we count Aminata because she can do some
She
stuff?
no,
She
she
doesn't
she
use mana.
all she knows is cantrips because of her Fey blood. That does, so she doesn't use mana. Same with Mina. Mina has one cantrip that she knows because of her Fey lineage, but you know yourself, cantrips don't cost mana.
So the next question is it going to have like a magical item weight?
No, because this is considered a consumable.
Perfect. So I can basically deposit as much as I can afford.
In theory, yes.
So what if I spend let's say 40 gold, 10 each.
Okay. Then you could, in theory, enchant one of these objects with up to 50 mana. You currently have 57, not including your mana receptacle, which has the additional 30.
Well, I'll start working away.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
yes,
so
I'm
then
going to-
what is it that you're buying for this 40 gold?
I think I'm going to buy like nice pendants, because as well like bracelets. Different races have different sizes.
Yeah. Any particular? I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just really for narrative flavor. Any
I'd
particular type of
say
stone?
I try at least to make an effort and find something that I think other people would like.
Okay.
Maybe in terms of like color, so like something green for Sylvia,
Oh,
okay. Something like red for Gwyn.
Of course.
I think blue for Safia,
For Ferus, yeah.
purple for myself.
Okay, right, super. So you get various different semi-precious stones, each worth a value of 10 gold. Okay. Now you can go home and you could cast this spell on and enchant one of them today, because as I said, if each one can hold up to 50 mana, you've got 57 mana, so you could do one per day.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so that's what you're going to basically be spending the day working on.
Yeah.
You're gone for a couple
Absolutely.
of hours, you do your shopping, you come back with the stones, and you make the mana receptacles. Who are you gifting the first mana receptacle to?
I'm going
yourself?
to make the green one first,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to give it to Sylvia just yet. I'll wait for a bit, because I think Justine wouldn't know how to do it. She'll be like super awkward about it. So she'll be like, I'll just try, see how it goes.
Cute.
Okay. So, will we just jump to Gwyn then?
Tea time.
Mina, are you just out for? We'll come back to you in a little bit, but I'm assuming you're just at random exploration right now. Yeah, cool. So Gwyn, you meet Josephine at a lovely little place, kind of near her shop, for afternoon tea. It's about 12:30 at this stage, and she's sitting there. She's wearing this breathtaking kind of rich blue gown. It's not a ball gown, it's a day dress, obviously, okay? But still looking as breathtaking as always. When you arrive, she gets up, kisses on the cheeks. Sit down, my dear, it's so lovely to see you. And then she waves at one of the waiting staff, and a moment later they come and they've got a tiered set of trays. There's some little sandwiches on it, but there's also patisserie. There's some tiny little profiterole, some eclair. There's some little pain chocolat. It's like really nice little nibbles with lots of chocolate, because this is France.
Gwyn has never been to afternoon tea.
Well, you are aware of it because you did grow
I'm
up
aware
in
of it,
England.
so she's just gonna cool as a cucumber act like she's done all this before.
You're expecting more cucumber sandwiches than what you're getting. There's these lovely patisseries with chocolat in them, but you're like, okay. But I will say this is a posh place.
Yes.
This is a posh place. You were feeling probably a little out of place here. Even with your relatively wealthy merchant class background, this is still pretty feckin' posh.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Gwyn is always going to try and keep face in whatever social situation that she's in to blend in. But internally she's like, oh baby, this is not my place.
So you're sitting there, so Josephine's like, so my lovely, how are you doing? How have these last few days been? I hope it hasn't been too stressful for you.
Well, not stressful necessarily, no. Dare I say we've been through worse. But how are you? How's business?
Please,
I hope those men didn't.
Oh please! It takes more than some silly little men to rattle me, my dear. You know that.
Of course. Of course.
I mean,
Well,
look, truth be told, I could have handled it myself, but I genuinely did have a pressing engagement that day, and it's nice to know that I have a band of capable women who I can rely on, especially as a woman.
of course. Listen, we have each other's backs, and that is something I did want to talk to you about. Instead of using these silly troops of men, why not consider us your go-to procurers?
Oh, do not worry, my dear. That is certainly what I'm doing. And like that, those men that I'd hired, that was for a job that I'd contracted shortly before I actually met you.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what that was. It was further to the west, bits out of Brittany. So there'd been, by the time they'd traveled there, like that's what that was. Okay. Trust me, if I had met you at that time, I would have sent you.
Wonderful. Well, of course, we're available whenever you need to send us on an adventure again. But in the meantime, no, I'm well. Everyone is fine to varying degrees. I'm a bit worried about Mina, to be honest.
Why? She seems
vanished
fine to
last
me.
night and
Well,
was here
can't.
until the early hours. It's just that it's a strange city, and who knows how her.
I
brother's
think
police
that
might-
young woman can definitely take care of herself. She strikes me as being an exceptionally capable woman, quite a formidable warrior, and I would not be surprised if she can handle herself just as well without the halberd. Although she is quite fond of that object. It's delightful, really.
She is, and she is wonderful, and she is strong. But still, I worry.
You're so precious, and she like cups her hand over yours. It's like you're so kind-hearted. You're so caring to everybody, to your friends, to myself. I feel like people don't appreciate you enough for how kind you are.
I don't know that I'm that kind, to be honest, but I am quite fond of my traveling companions, and I would hate to see them get hurt.
Oh, I think they're all well able to handle themselves. They're good, strong women.
They really are, and it's just so fortuitous to have met them
Yeah, no,
along the
all of
road.
it. Even the quiet little one, Justine. You know, even
Oh, she's
she.
incredibly powerful. I
I
would not want to cross you.
Oh, I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah.
Yes, she comes across as nervous at times, but I'm sure she can handle herself quite well.
Yes, well, you have yet to see her in a graveyard. Believe me.
And she looks
There
a
are
bit
other sides to
confused.
you.
She's like, looks a bit. What?
Wynn's just gonna kind of revel in that, not tell her too much, you know.
Sometime you'll have to fill me in on that story.
Perhaps,
Uh,
perhaps.
um,
So what's going on in your world?
well,
Any jobs for us to do?
not right now, but I do have a engagement I was wondering if I could have your help with this Saturday.
Do tell.
How about we walk? At this age, you have finished your sandwiches, your patisserie, your tea and coffees. So you get up. She obviously has an accountant. They don't even ask for money. She's like this is like proper rich people. This is still in the era when. Sorry forgive my gendered terms, but this is still very much in the era when credit was the sign of a gentleman. You know.
Rich
That
people never touch money.
yeah, no, that late, like, this was a thing, like, even into the late 19th and early 20th century, this idea that the truly wealthy never handed money over to pay for things. They would have lines of credit which would be dealt with because they were wealthy,
Yes, yeah.
which is where the phrase credit is the sign of a gentleman comes from. A very old and archaic phrase that was used a lot by wealthy white men in Europe. But yeah. So she links arms with you, as she is wont to do, and you start strolling along and says, "Oh, this is a lovely place. Have you ever been here?" She's pointing at what looks to be a really expensive, extremely high class, forgive me for not knowing the correct term, but a dressmaker shop.
No, I haven't.
Please, let's go in. I don't know. And she pulls, she like gently and playfully drags you in. Okay. So you go inside and you see there's this very very striking looking woman, very very dark skin, similar complexion to Aminata's actually. Hold on, apologies. Standing behind the standing at the counter, and as Madame Gautlier comes in, she sees her and she's like, Madame Gautlier, it's so wonderful to see you. What a wonderful smile. She goes, Angélie, it's always a pleasure. And they go up and just kisses and like, this is my dear, close, very special friend, Gwynn, and
How do you do?
she needs your help.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, this woman is straight away eyeing you up, but not in the, hey, I'm checking you out, in the professional seamstress. Yeah, she is measuring you up. Of course, I've just gotten some new silks in. I think they would be perfect for this lovely girl's lovely complexion. Such fair skin. You cold-blooded Northern Europeans with your fair skin, And by the way, this woman, she has a French accent. Okay, she's speaking in fluent French with a French accent. She's not speaking with any. She doesn't have a foreign accent. Okay, it's just, oh please, Angélie, you always tease. And there's a bit of flirtation going on. You're like, maybe there's an over here, And it's just let's go towards the back. So. You go towards the back and she says, Mademoiselle, if you would not mind just taking off the outer garment so I can get some more accurate measurements, please.
Of course. Gwynn at this point is quite uncomfortable because she would have no real use for like silk and finery. But I'm not going to complain. I'm going to go with this.
Yeah, so she starts taking some measurements and she has an assistant and she's calling out numbers. The assistant has a similar complexion to her. They both love this dark African complexion. You would have no idea what part of Africa they're from. You're from bleeding England. You would not know. All right? You no way to know. Oh, they look, Eastern African, Ethiopian, Somalian, or West. You haven't got a clue. Okay.
No.
And when she's speaking to the assistant, she's speaking in some language you do not recognize. Okay. And then so they take the measurements and then she says, okay, let us. And she spends the next 30-40 minutes showing these amazing silks. These beautiful, rich burgundies and emerald greens and there's lacing and there's brocade and it's this shit looks like it would cost more than your mother might have made in a year.
Yeah.
It's holy crap. This is not the kind of fabric you use for a day dress. This is the kind of fabric you use for a ball gown. And Josephine is asking your input, what colors you like, what fabrics, what styles. So she's not just picking, but she is kind of leading the direction, if you get me. But she is looking for your input the whole time. And then Angélie brings out this book, and in the book is countless drawings, color drawings of different styles of fabulously breathtaking ball gowns.
Okay.
And they're so which do you prefer? Do you want with the low collar showing off the neckline, the bosom, the shoulders, and we have the very tightly cinched waist here, but something a bit more comfortable, And she's going through all different these panniers. They were these are very much 1863, please, 1864. They are so. They're 4 seasons ago. It would be embarrassing. She said, oh no. We need the latest fashions. My dear, and they're chatting about the latest fashion trends and all the rest of this and how and as they're having this conversation, perhaps but as they are having this conversation and she's this Saturday we will be going to Giraud's and she goes Cote Marché. I was what? Cote Marché. Oh, okay. We want to make sure she gives an impression with her entrance. And she's I knew I could trust you, my darling. And so they've eventually picked out a pattern style of what looks to be a fabulously ridiculous ball gown. What colours do you think Gwynn would have eventually gone with?
Gwynn would go with an overall burgundy silk with maybe like the underlayer of like the corsetry on the chest might be like black brocade.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think she'd go for a low enough neckline so she
Yeah.
could wear the jewelry that Madame Gauthier got her.
Of course. Yeah. Absolutely. It says, I will have it. I will have it for you on Saturday. Collection or delivery. And Madame Gauthier says, here, please. And she writes an address to be delivered to here. And she says, of course, Madame. And so she's like, oh, this is so exciting, Gwynn. I have this.
You squeal me. This
well,
is completely
no. I see. The engagement that I have this Saturday that I need your help with is it's a small minor ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's very small.
Okay.
Only 60, 70 people.
That's quite large.
Not
by Cornish standards, but okay.
This is Paris, please.
Yes.
This is tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you there with me.
Well, of course I would be honored to accompany you. Of course.
I cannot
but
wait.
What is the nature of the work that you need me to do there that could justify such a dress?
Keep me entertained and help me to ignore all the men offering to entertain me.
Well, that I can definitely do.
Of course. When you are a wealthy woman like me, even though I am not from a very important family, we don't, of course, have noble families anymore. They all ended up in the guillotine.
You must get no peace.
You do get a lot,
mm-hmm.
an awful lot of men pursuing you. Of course, they're pursuing me for is my money, as much as my fine bosom, because we all know the way the laws work. What's mine is mine until I'm married to a man, then it becomes his.
Exactly, a good reason never to marry.
Yes. So, I have one more little surprise for you.
Really, it's all this really, truly is.
Please, and she takes your hands in her hands again. She's like, please, you're an absolute gem, so you deserve gems, but it's not a gem.
You've given me enough of those.
So, so we'll take a little bit of a walk. And I was taking a walk, and she's casting Moonlit script, sending a message off to somebody. And so he's taking a wonderful stroll along this boulevard in a very, very fancy, very expensive part of Paris. And about maybe 5 or 6 minutes later, a very fine carriage slows down beside you. You immediately recognize it as her carriage. Mm-hmm. So you alight into her carriage and you go. The carriage is not leaping through the shadows. It's first of all, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so there's not that many shadows, and also
acting like a normal carriage.
It's acting like a very normal carriage for very normal rich people. So she leads you along to a very nice spot, not quite the very, very super fancy area that you were, along down nice street, and you alight outside this very, very nice house. She leads you up, produces a key, opens the door, and you go into a very, very fine hallway, and she leads you up 2 flights of stairs to a top floor, where she produces another key and opens the door, leading into what is a very, very lovely apartment on the top floor.
This is magnificent.
It's quite nice. It's not crazy big. It's got a very, very nice kind of, you come into a very, very nice kind of living room space. There's some shelves, there's some little ornamentation, not a lot. It looks like it's been relatively recently done up. There is a small section off to the side. It's not like a proper kitchen with stove and everything, but it's a small space to prepare simple foods. And then there's a very nice small little bathroom with a lovely what are they called again? The baths with the feet.
Oh yeah.
What's that called again? I'm
I
very tired, brain freeze. But very, very fine bath, washstand, and all the rest of it.
Bath.
Thank you. Yeah, and then there's and then into a very, very nice bedroom, fabulous, very large, very nice 4-poster bed, wonderful wardrobe, chest of drawers, a vanity set, and she turns. She's like, "So what do you think?"
It's gorgeous, but
you like it?
It's beautiful. Yes, it's absolutely gorgeous.
I'm so happy.
Please do not tell me that this is one of your...
I really felt that that you need your own space, and we have another place to have privacy for the two of us. And I mean, it's actually not that far from your friends. It's only about a 15-minute ride in a cab to Aminata's address, and it's about 10 minutes from where Ferouz is staying as well. She's in the slightly less nice part of the city, but still quite a nice, relatively safe part of the city. And I just thought, I wanted you to be happy and have your own space in which to do your things. And yes,
I'm speechless. You finally managed to, yeah, completely stop my brain functions. This is beyond generous.
please think of all the ways you've helped me.
Well, I mean, hopefully we can be of more use to you to make up for all of this.
Oh, please, please, please. Of course, you totally deserve this, my dear.
Yeah, Gwynn's brain is just like, what? Like, for her owning property, for I think at this period of time, for anyone owning property, a young single woman is probably absolutely insane. So her brain is melting.
Darling, you're paying for it in other ways, believe.
Well, that's true. That's true. That is very true.
So,
yeah, Gwyn's just in awe, profusely thanking her.
you just kind of sits down on the bed, and it's kind of slightly springy, and she kind of presses down on the mattress, and she gives you a look.
Absolutely. Gwyn's over there like a...
And you guys test out the mattress. It's an exceptionally comfy mattress.
Wonderful.
Exceptionally comfy. Okay. Yes. So you spend however long you wish. Josephine does not appear to be in any rush to be anywhere this afternoon or this evening. I will say she does not spend the night, however.
Okay. Well, Gwyn is in no rush either. And I think as soon as Josephine leaves, she's just going to take in the rooms and
it's very lovely space. It's like there is some nice furnishings. There's two very nice chairs facing towards the fireplace in the living room. There's a small fireplace in the bedroom as well, of course. There is shelves with a couple of little items on it, but it's there's a lot, like, the shelving has been done in such a way that it looks tasteful and nice, but you could very easily move stuff around to create space for your own items on the shelf.
Okay. I think, yeah, she's just going to take time and kind of comprehend how she's going to tell the group about this, because it is so just strange and out of the blue. But eventually I think she will use Moonlit Script to
who's she gonna message?
She's
Hi guys,
gonna
I'm being
message...
a tense woman now.
She's actually gonna message Justine.
Okay.
And would she tell? And she's gonna say something along the lines of, "I'm fine, and I'll be back shortly. I have something to show you all."
Okay, so you get that message at whatever time in the afternoon, evening. Okay. Mina, what do you spend the day doing?
Sorry, I have been exploring the last couple of days, and Mina is out, and she's going up to Montmartre because she heard that is a cheaper part. It's not part of the city yet. It's still has to be swallowed by the city, but it's close enough. And there's all sorts of really interesting people there. There's a couple of painters. There's lots of brothels. Not that she cares. But
very
still,
bohemian part of the city.
Extremely bohemian, also very cheap. As I said, not quite part of the city yet, but more kind of like a, it's getting swallowed up soon.
Yeah.
She seems to kind of like it. It's not very, it's not posh. It's nice. People are kind of weird, but she seems to kind of like it there. So Mina's been looking around to find some sort of accommodation for herself.
Okay.
Because she feels bad for mooching off Aminata all the time.
Okay. We'll say that you spend the entire day looking around, and you do find one or two places, apartments that are going relatively cheap, with nice house ladies, which is what you're looking for.
Yeah,
You
because like she'd be happy in a room with like, you know, main these kind of, as you say, house ladies, like with a couple of people in there, like, you know, mate. So she'd be totally happy with that.
yeah.
Um, where it's kind of like, oh, tell me where you are, otherwise I'll call your mom, kind of a thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So um, so we could say, like, you can basically, you could get rent a room in a house that has two other people renting rooms, and then
Perfect.
there's the house lady as well who lives there, and like as part of
Perfect.
your rent you would get breakfast in the morning and dinner in the evening, you know. So
Exactly. Perfect.
that was
Exactly what you'd be looking for.
and that
That was
was
the
the
given
way,
thing, yeah.
this was the Airbnb of the 19th century. That was literally how it worked, you know. Except it was probably better quality food and better deals, and you didn't have assholes then trying to slap you at €500 charges because they said you were at the gaff
God
when you
stuff.
didn't. Yeah, so
They didn't,
Oh,
charge you €200 because you used a towel or something.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
oh
But
God, yeah, imagine. Like, oh no, it's ridiculous these days, like, you know.
so we'll
So
say that
yeah.
you find a place, and she asks when you would like to move in. It will be, we'll
Oh,
say
I tell her that whenever it's convenient for her.
we'll say it'd be 3 silver a week.
Perfect.
Okay, about 3 silver a week is what you'd be paying. So what you get is a simple single room, like with a double bed, of course. Um, there is a wash basin. Okay, there is a small bathroom that everybody shares. Okay, she tells you there were two other men who live there. She's actually surprised that, because you are a woman looking for this accommodation. So she is actually surprised, and she starts
But I tell
asking.
her about myself so she
Yeah.
kind of
So
understands
so
where I'm
she,
coming
she
from.
starts she starts asking you some questions, and you can very quickly tell she's trying to figure out, are you a prostitute?
And I pull out my uniform
She is
from
gobsmacked.
my bag
Yeah.
from my goblin bag.
Yeah.
I was gonna say bag of
Yeah.
holding for a second there. Too much Baldur's Gate. Everybody. But, like, but, that's what I did over Christmas, everybody, in case people are wondering. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull that out, and I tell her, yeah, I'm just, I'm here with a couple of friends, but I'm also looking for a job. So I'm a Swiss guard, and at the moment I'm living in a friend's house, but I don't want to stay there indefinitely. It's not like I don't want. I just don't want to kind of mooch off
Mhm.
her, and I just explained the
No,
situation
of
to
course,
her.
absolutely. There's two men who
And she seems really nice, I mean, this really kind of motherly person that
yeah,
I never had.
she's so the woman is in her like late 40s herself. She explains to you that she is a widow. Her husband died in the war there recently, and they'd never had any children. So she, being a widow, started like she said like they'd always wanted a big family,
Taking in people,
hence
yeah.
the
Yeah,
house, but they were never blessed with children. And then he died last year in the war. So being a
yeah.
struggling widow, she started to rent out the rooms to support herself. That's what basically has happened.
Of course. Yeah.
Very common story, especially in the
Yeah,
cities of France.
absolutely.
Very very common story. Says there are two men. One is he's a young man. He actually recently started working as a constable. And the other slightly
Oh, very
older.
nice. So you'd be very safe.
He's a
We'd
clerk,
be all very safe. Yeah.
and you needn't worry. The only people who will have a key to the room is you and myself. So you need not worry.
Yeah. Well, I can defend myself, so it'll be fine.
Oh, trust me, if they even thought about it, my dear, you wouldn't get a chance to put them in their place. I would get to them way faster than you. I'll have none of that in my house. This is a good Christian
And I
house.
laugh and giggle, and I say like, "Oh, fantastic! I'm also grew up Christian, and
Oh,
I'm
very good, very good. And well,
very from a Christian household
there's
as
a
well. So
lovely
yeah, no.
church just down the road. I'll make sure to
Oh,
introduce you
perfect.
to the priest.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I just have a little bit of chat, and
Hmm.
talk to her and say like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to joining the household, and just have people to talk, have other people to talk to as well, and just learn about Paris and France and everything. So
Okay, right.
yeah.
Um, so that's what you're doing. So Justine, you basically it takes you like a couple of hours with this spell. It's not like, this spell is not one of these ones that you just can simply cast as a major action. It takes you um, what was it? You're putting how much mana was it? So you're putting 50 mana in, yeah.
Yep.
So it takes you a while it takes you like the entire spell when you cast it takes nearly an hour to cast. So so you spend a good bit of time prepping before that, getting yourself in a good into the right space, and then you spend an hour casting the spell. So like it actually takes a good chunk of the day, but you do finally get it finished. Gwyn is out, Mina's out. There's just Farouz is not there. Amanada's had to run off to do some errands. So it's just you and Sylvia. You're mute. And
Sylvia's in her room, but she hasn't come out.
Sylvia's been in her room all day. But when you finally have the mana receptacle done, and you put it down for a while, because you're like nervous about how do I do this, but eventually you're kind of feeling like, okay, maybe, after a couple of hours after you've actually created the object, you're probably at that stage. I would think. I don't know what you think. Do you think, but after a few hours you'd be like, okay, I can do this?
I think Justine is not going to kind of approach Sylvia out of nowhere, but she's going to put the mana receptacle in her pocket or have it on her and just kind of wait for a good moment. So I don't know if we're going for like a dinner downstairs or something. Anyway, after Justine is done, it's probably like dinner time by this point anyway.
Getting close
she
to
had
it.
to go to the city first, and then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like you're a couple of hours out shopping, then got home, prepared, then cast the spell, created the object, and so forth. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because I assume Justine knows what Sylvia is doing at the moment with the book and everything. So
she does know that.
Yeah, she wouldn't want to disturb anyway. So she's just going to sit in the kitchen downstairs, studying the journal, and just having tea.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So, here's my question to Sylvia. When dinner is served, I'm not to just get home in time for dinner. Sylvia, do you come down for dinner, or do you just take some food up to your room?
I'll come down and I'll sit at the table for like a little bit, just to sit there. So you see Sylvia's she's just sort of moving the food around her plate. She's not eating very much.
Justine, can you give me an awareness roll, please?
Awareness of a turnip. That's what I have.
And the grace of a potato.
Yes.
What did you...
17 actually, not too bad.
Okay, that's not terrible. Would you say...
Do you have any modifiers?
You have an awareness of 0. Would you say that's enough of a roll, Sylvia, that Justine gets a kind of a feeling of Sylvia's mood?
No, it is. She's not like Sylvia's not kind of...
Okay, so do you want to describe to Justine what Justine picks up of Sylvia's mood?
Sylvia is very much kind of collapsed in on herself. You can see she's trying to, like, in this very much, it's time for me to eat, so I should be eating. And you get the sense she's trying to really force herself to eat. And she's kind of collapsed in on herself, and she's just staring at her plate. She is not making eye contact with anybody. Right
and Justine would have never seen Sylvia in this mood before, has she?
She did on Valentine's Day.
Was it as bad?
No, this would be a lot worse.
So the closest that you've seen Sylvia like this was on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Just awkward. Justine's just awkward. She doesn't know what to do. She's
After
definitely
a
not.
while, Sylvia's just gonna, she's gonna get up and just leave. She's eaten maybe about half the food ish. She's gonna be, I'm going to go back and study.
And at this point, Justine is going to stand up and just like really awkwardly reach into the pocket and give. I should probably put it in like a little envelope or something, and just give it to Sylvia and be like, "Thank you for all the money you spent on me. I hope this will help." And just give it to Sylvia and just run away first.
Sylvia kind of.
You open up the envelope. What does Sylvia see?
It's a really kind of nice, elegant, not very expensive, but kind of good looking anyway, tasteful little pendant on like a golden chain. It has a little kind of green stone, semi-precious stone, and sort of like a floral ornament, but not like a glamorous floral. It has a bit of like, like bits that are designed as like wooden pieces and branches, so it's a bit more kind of like ethnical, if you pardon my language. So more in Sylvia's kind of druidy style than
God.
all fancy and.
So Justine goes to scarp her off as you open this. Sylvia, how do you react when you see this?
Sylvia's hands start shaking. You can her eyes start. She starts tearing up, and she just runs back upstairs.
Okay.
Successful communication, I think.
So with
runs, that's like, oh god.
Well, with one incredibly socially
Hanging up
awkward.
between the two of you, like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
bloody, yeah.
Well,
unbelievable.
Justine just thought that it was going to be worse if like everyone would be there.
So, all that social awkwardness aside, I think this is a perfect place to pause in our story. So thanks for being.
Justine just ran off, did she?
Yeah.
She wouldn't have seen any of that.
No,
okay.
she did not. So she ran off, and as I said, we are going to take a pause in our story. So thank you, everybody.
Okay.
We'll be back in 5 minutes. Quick bio breaks and cups of tea. So.
Fey Earth is a
Okay. Right, I'll be back in a second, folks. Oh, scheiße. Quick audio check. Okay, and we are good. So, hello everybody and welcome to Fey Earth, back again. I'm still Neil, the creator of our indie TTRPG set in an alternate 19th century Earth where all the creatures and folklore and fairy tale are real, have always been real, and live alongside humanity. When last we left our heroes, we had a busy bit of activity going on. Our sorcerer Justine had gone out doing some shopping to get some items so she can start making consumable mana receptacles for her fellow spellcasters. Buying lovely semi-precious stones, trying to match the colour to her friend. She's already constructed one, spending most of her mana in doing so, and in an incredibly awkward moment gave it to Sylvia, who seems to be going through a very emotional period right now. Justine's not sure why. Justine didn't ask her why, but the last time she saw Sylvia in a mood like this, it was at Valentine's Day when Sylvia had told them all of her love, her wife having carried out these very silly activities for her, having been inspired by a friend of theirs from the Americas who had told them of the Valentine's traditions he had back at home. Mina had gone travelling off into one of the cheaper, more bohemian parts of the city. She's looking for her own room. She wants her own space and no longer to feel like she's, encroaching on Aminata's generosity. And Gwynn had a very lovely day, enjoying a delightful afternoon tea with the beautiful Madame Gautlier. Was then brought to a courtier's shop where they picked out what will be an extremely expensive ball gown. The only reason it will be made as soon as it is in 2 days is because in this time period, seamstresses, dressmakers and tailors have enchanted needles. We are a bit before the era of, we're coming into the cusp of the first sewing machines, but enchanted needles have existed for a long time and allow seamstresses, tailors and dressmakers to make garments at a much greater speed than historically would have been possible. And this is for a ball that she has asked Gwynn to accompany her to on Saturday evening. It's a very small, casual affair. It'll only be 70 people. And then she showed Gwynn another of the many gifts that she has been giving her to show her love. A wonderful, extremely nice apartment that she apparently now can call her home, and which Gwynn very excitedly tested out the furniture for several hours with Josephine that evening. So Gwynn, do you eventually head back to Aminata's, or do you, because you did say you want to show the party something?
Yes, I think Gwynn, after Josephine leaves, Gwynn is going to spend quite a while in the space just contemplating this unbelievably generous gift, and just, I think, Madame Gautier's, all of her presents, and I think she's just going to contemplate the situation that she's in.
How is Gwynn feeling about the many gifts that she's been getting off Josephine?
So I think there's two levels to it. So on a very superficial level, she's thinking, these are really valuable trinkets, great, happy days, right? But deeper down,
she is still, sorry to interrupt, she is still, Gwynn is only 19.
Yeah, absolutely.
She
so
is
reveling in the
dumb teenager
things. Yeah. So there's that superficial level of oh my god, this is so much money. But then I think deep down in her gut, a bit of an unnerved feeling is coming up, especially as she is kind of wandering through this apartment, taking it all in. She's starting to feel a little bit unsettled, and that's when she'll message Justine and start walking back to Aminata's.
Okay. It does take a little bit of time for you to get your bearings because you're not a native of Paris, but it is actually, she said it's about a 10-minute cab ride, so it's about 25-30 minute walk. because cabs in this time in this era they would have only been going at about maybe 8 kilometers an hour, like it what because they're horse-drawn cabs, but still.
I think Gwyn is going to take the walk and use the opportunity to mull over this relationship with Josephine. And yeah, and I suppose when she arrives back, nobody's there because everyone's run off to their rooms.
Well, that's the thing. You can't find anybody. Ferouz is not there because she has her own apartment. Aminata, you hear some.
Out, I'm sure Justine would come out. Like.
Well, you hear some movement, and you can hear Aminata talking to some of the household staff, but it sounds like she's busy doing stuff. You're not sure what.
Would Justine hear the door?
Give me an awareness roll. Add your 0 modifier.
Yeah, 10.
Probably
with
not.
My modifier added.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I think Gwyn is going to ask for some tea and just chill in kind of one of the common areas for a while.
in the drawing room.
Yeah, I figure everyone's off doing their own thing, and eventually, someone will emerge. So.
Because Justine knows that Gwyn should come at some point.
You did get a message. You got a Moonlit script
exactly.
passed to you. So yes.
Exactly. I got a message. So maybe before kind of. Maybe at some point after running away to my room, I'll ask one of the people in the house to kind of let me know when Gwyn comes.
Absolutely. One of the maids has come and tell you that Gwyn has arrived.
Okay, so I'm going to go downstairs.
And Gwyn is sipping some tea in the drawing room.
Yeah.
Justine, how are you? How did your study go? You're okay?
Yeah, thankfully this time.
Good. No last.
I just felt very, very tired after that and really slow, but it all wore off and I got low hours, so I'm good.
Good.
You can probably see that Justine looks a bit guilty, like like a puppy who did something, but
Okay, well, I have my own problems. So...
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, Gwyn has an awareness of 1, so that's way better than you, Justine. And you're not especially good at hiding your emotions either.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like Justine is going to jump straight in and be like, "How are you? Are you okay? What happened? I received your message."
Where to even start? Sorry, what's my dog eating?
Yeah, Justine is going to sit down and just make a face like she is very ready to listen to whatever it is to come.
I was just with Josephine. She's
Okay.
a job for me to do at the weekend, but that's not important at the moment. What is important is the fact that she gave me an apartment. Yep.
What?
Yes, I know. It's so mad. That...
Gave you as in just gifted you?
It's mine to use and stay in. And it's completely gracious. I am speechless. However, I feel a little bit unsettled. I feel, as I was taking it all in, I feel a bit like a bird caught in a cage. And something about Josephine's behavior is starting to make me feel unsettled.
Just give me a moment, okay?
I know, and that's why I sent you a
time.
message.
I need to process it.
I just wanted to get a second opinion. Maybe I'm being insane, but it just seems too good to be true, right?
Justine's just going to sit down and or she's sitting already, but kind of sit down even firmer because she's like, ooh.
I know, small gifts were one thing, but this is above and beyond.
Yes, giving someone Justine kind of took a couple of minutes just to sit here and just to be like, what? And inside she's torn between being like, so what kind of apartment is this? Isn't good.
I know, yeah, I know. It's flipping amazing, but it just is too good to be true, right?
Yeah. How long do you? We don't know her for that long, do we?
No, we don't. And the other gifts were ridiculous enough because of that, but this is outlandish.
I wonder if there is any magic in this apartment.
Yes,
if you would like.
I would love for you to come and give it a once over with your powers and see what you can find.
You have about 7 mana unspent. Oh, actually, no, you don't. You actually have literally. Hold on, I need to check. Sorry, I was checking your Book of Shadows because it's you have 6 mana left, and more than enough to cast Detect Magic, but 6 mana left.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of lower my voice even more and be like, "Yeah, I'd love to go now, but I tapped out. I only have 6 mana left. That's enough to cast Detect Magic. I've spent all my mana on something. It's a little surprise.
Of course. Oh god, this is a terrible day to ask you about all of this.
No.
Gwynn,
honestly,
give me an intellect roll.
Oh.
Not your strong suit.
No.
Justine. I think Justine is like that's a mystery. We're loving this. We're in, like.
Well, I rolled a 14.
Plus.
Bear with me. Oh, so slow. Awareness, right?
No, intellect.
Oh god.
Oh, you have an intellect of 2. That's not terrible. Okay, so that's 16. Okay, so with that roll of 16, I'm going to say you don't fully understand the way Justine uses magic. It's quite different to you, but you'd know enough to be like, wait a minute, she's nearly tapped out. What the hell was she doing? Because she did most of her arcane research yesterday. So what the hell was she doing today? She's nearly tapped out.
Mysterious. Well, Gwynn has enough of her own problems. She's very selfish. She's not even going to ask.
Yeah. Sylvia, can you give me an awareness roll? What? You're mute.
Sorry, that was a 2.
You don't hear anything.
She wouldn't have come in anyway.
Oh. So you don't hear anything, okay? Mina is still at the landlady's because it's still at the same time. In fact, you have a lovely meal there and get to taste her food. It's simple but nice. The best kind of food.
Second. I do have my own mana receptacle though.
You do have the 30 mana of your own mana receptacle, so
that's fine.
Okay, well, let's go on, and I want to show it to you anyway, obviously.
Yeah,
okay.
But that would be a
Are you
perfect
going to
moment
tell
to go.
Sylvia you're going, or are you just going to go?
No, I'm just going to go.
After
I'm
that awkward moment earlier.
Okay.
After that horribly awkward moment earlier, do you honestly think Justine is going to knock on Sylvia's door?
No.
The dragon's
Well,
lair.
yeah, if she was going out somewhere, yeah, I really would have.
Social awkwardness trumps
Social
everything.
awkwardness, eh?
Why should she? She has staff. There is staff that can tell you if you're looking for her that they've been out, like, you know.
And Justine?
And Justine saw that Sylvia was A, very, very tired, and B,
She wasn't
very upset.
Tired.
She wasn't tired.
And also knows you're studying your book.
Yeah.
But mostly because of like social awkwardness, not because Justine doesn't want to include Sylvia or wants to keep secrets from Sylvia. It's more like
she was in a terrifying.
I don't know what to do.
I feel too awkward to go, and
Fair, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
Is this
fair.
like when you're at the hairdresser's that they ask
literally
you?
as Justine is setting foot out of the door, she's like, shit, I wouldn't want to be excluded. So what Justine is going to do, she's like double thinking. Her first instinct would be like, no.
Too awkward.
Yeah, too awkward. But then be like, but no, we're a team. I don't want to. I wouldn't want to be excluded. So I'm going to ask Gwynn, being like, do you think we should tell Sylvia as well? Let's bring Sylvia with us.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you don't know. You'd be like, of course.
No, you don't know what happened. You don't know what
So Justine, quick thinking, she'd be like, can you send her the script?
Oh yes, and Gwynn.
I saw she's studying the book, and I don't want to disturb her, just in case, you know.
So, what message do you send Sylvia?
I will say, going on an adventure.
Set up with Chuck pot.
Going on an adventure. Do you want to come? Yes. Okay, so you see the silvery font appearing in front of you. You don't know who this is from, by the way.
Oh, right. I see a second silvery font appear with Gwynn's name.
Going on an adventure. Do you want to come? Gwynn.
Do I? Okay. Sylvia is going to come out of the room. She's kind of good. Let's go downstairs because it's just
And you see Gwynn and Justine standing in the hallway, looking like they're about to leave.
Sylvia, you coming?
You're going on an adventure?
Well, kind of.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. But I have something to show you. Do you know where Mina is?
No.
No, Mina's out.
Mina has been gone all day. I have just I was studying. But if it's going to be dangerous, maybe I should go. But Sylvia's going to take the book with her.
I think you're going to want to see this.
Okay, so you take the tome. Gwyn, do you jump in a cab?
Yeah.
It's like 2 copper, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, Sylvia's wearing the necklace that you gave her.
So Gwyn, give me
I think Justine is kind of very much relieved seeing that. She's like, okay, no worries needed, we're good.
Where can you give me an awareness roll, Gwyn?
I can.
You have an awareness of 1.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah,
Sylvia's
you don't
Plus
notice
1.
anything at all.
Sylvia.
Sylvia seems a little bit quiet and probably tired from reading her book all day.
Yeah, makes
So-
perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Justine, thank you for your lovely gift. It was very kind.
Thank you for saving my life more than once.
Well, you have also saved mine. You have saved all of us. Certainly when Monclerc was there, I heard if you had not tossed the book, he would have caught us for sure. So, thank you for the lovely gift. She gave me, just explained that she gave me this.
Oh, it's
Does
beautiful.
Sylvia realize it's basically a mana receptacle?
No.
No.
No, you haven't.
She
said
doesn't have the
anything,
tech magic.
You haven't included any.
No,
any
she just
instructions, have
she
you?
just thinks it's this really beautiful. We haven't named the stone yet, but a very beautiful green semi-precious stone with floral detail on a lovely
I
fine.
think Justine's
gold
2
chain.
last brain cells died by doing all that.
Fair.
So yeah, I'm going to kind of, because we're 3 of us awkwardly jammed in the cab. I'm going to explain to the ladies what it is, and basically just tell Gwyn that's why I tapped out.
So Sylvia, now knowing that it wasn't a really beautiful piece of jewelry, but is actually functional, how does that change your feeling towards the gift in Justine?
Okay, Sylvia's a little bit like well.
What was going through Sylvia's mind when she thought, "Oh, my friend has just gave me this beautiful piece of jewelry"? What was going through her mind?
Well,
White noise.
She only no.
Oh no. I say everything except white noise.
Okay,
No, I'd be
for everybody who thinks that Sylvia has gay panic, that is not and has never been what's happening at all. I don't know where that came from.
It's canon now.
She it's
Yeah, no, so not.
it's like so not what's going on. She has only she has one other piece of jewelry that's anywhere near as nice, and it's still really hard because it's a really thoughtful gift from somebody that she cares about, but she's still obviously dealing with horrible loss of so it's I'm not sure if it's making it worse.
So then when she realizes, okay, this is a functional gift, not just a thoughtful gift, how does that change her feelings?
Slightly better.
Yeah.
but not,
Okay.
like,
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
not.
Cool.
much.
Justine is, of course, completely oblivious to all of these
absolutely,
powerful
100%.
emotions going through Sylvia's mind. Okay.
And so Sylvia's
Justine-
basically not. She's like, as soon as she's kind of set her piece on that, she's just going back to staring. She's going to like try and
read
start
the
reading
book in
and not
the
looking at
cab,
the book.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so within less about 10 minutes, you pull up in front of this very lovely 3-story terraced house.
Yes. And while we're in the cab, can I send, I don't know what Mina's up to or where she is, but can I send her just the address? Say, come if you're free, Gwynn.
Okay, so you get
Look,
sent.
she may or
So
may not say
Mina,
it, I
you
don't know.
get a message of this address.
Perfect. I'll finish up dinner and, my lovely chat with my new landlady, I suppose.
Yeah. So
House mother.
will we say that you agree that you're going to move in on Sunday, maybe?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I also explained to her that I have like a little jobby coming up and I might be a little banged up, but like not to worry.
Okay. She's a bit alarmed by that, but she knows you're a
I'm
fighter.
like, remember, that's what I do for a living.
I know, but you're so small. You're such a small little woman.
Oh, but like I have 5 brothers.
Oh, okay, all right. That actually makes her feel a lot better.
And I tell her that I fought ogres and
She's alarmed by
werewolves
like
and
gobsmacked,
all sorts of things, so,
like, yeah.
Not to worry about it.
She's like terrified by these stories, but super alarmed, but also super impressed by all these stories. Okay, because she was a simple housewife in Paris, and you're talking about fighting ogres and loup-garou. It's like, oh my god. So yeah, so you jump.
I tell her like at least like we'd be all super safe, like with her ferociousness and me and the gendarme, we should be totally safe, like in the house, like
Excellent. So yeah, so you jump in a cab. It's gonna be probably about say 4 copper for you. But Gwynn, you get to the house before Mina's arrived. So
Okay.
going up to the front door, you have a key to the front door.
I have a key to the front door.
So you take out the key to the front door and unlock it. Coming into a very, very nice hallway, carpet, some furnishings on the sides, like cabinets and stuff. Up the stairs, up the first, second to the top floor, in front of another door.
This is it, and Gwynn will open the door.
So what's going through Sylvia and Justine's mind when they see Gwynn pulling out keys to open these doors?
Well, Justine knows. Gwynn just told Justine.
Yeah.
Justine is just like really curious.
So what's going through
and
Sylvia's
low-key
mind?
terrified.
Sylvia only came along because Gwynn said adventure, which meant they might need a healer, and she doesn't want people to die. So she's kind of like
On guard?
Well, very much on guard, but also like metaphorically speaking, where's the fire?
Yeah. It's Gwynn. Gwynn is the fire. Gwynn is always the fire.
Yes.
So you unlock the door and open up immediately into the living room space of a very, very nice, small but very nice and cozy apartment.
This is it. This is what I wanted to show you. Justine, if you would do your thing.
Justine is trying to keep cool, but she's kind of eyeing the surroundings because she's coming from like kind of upper class, so she knows the value of furniture and decorations and everything else. So she's kind of like trying to put a price on everything and kind of estimate how much it might have cost.
I mean, it's nice, but we're not talking crazy expensive either,
Still too nice to get.
It's not cheap. We'll just say that this is not cheap. We're not talking the finest of furnishings, but it's like good quality, nice furnishings, the likes of which any respectable middle class professional family might own.
Yeah. So where Justine would be like, yeah, that's a nice house.
This is nice stuff. That's a nice carpet. That's a nice rug. Those are really nice chairs. That's some really nice little porcelain ornamentation on the shelves. So you cast Detect Magic?
I cast Detect Magic, and because for me it's -6.
It's basically cost you 1 to cast it. Just 1 to cast it.
Yeah, no, but I'm going to increase it to 8, so it's going to cost me 2.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I need you to search for everything.
So
Anything that could be
yeah,
here, everything that could
the
be here.
spell lasts you for 5. The spell stays active for 5 minutes and has a radius of 11 meters from you. So you can, within like 30 seconds, you've walked around the entire apartment. It's a small apartment. You walk into the kitchenette type space, into the bathroom, into the bedroom. There is no presence of anything magical beyond the magic items that you and your friends carry on you that you're aware of. There is nothing magical in this apartment.
Okay, well, that's a relief. Sylvia, I didn't explain. This is ours now.
Well, it's yours.
Yeah. What's mine is ours. Yep, you heard me correctly. This was the most extravagant gift in a series of gifts by Justine, which I don't deserve, and I'm not speaking down of myself. Okay, I know I'm great, but I don't deserve this from someone I barely know.
I think it's behavior you would expect from a longer term partner, I think is what you mean.
Yes, it's too extravagant, and as I said to Justine, while the gifts are great, really wonderful, this has made me feel unsettled, which is why I wanted her to come over and just, scan the area. And
do you think she will use this to try and get you to do things for her now?
I don't know what this is for, but I know I'm young, okay, but I've seen things. I've been out on the streets. I wasn't born yesterday, and this
none of us were
normal.
born yesterday, and I suppose that most of us would be considered young.
Of course, but I know that this is not right, and look, I also know that she is magnificent, and her interest in me from the start, I thought was unusual.
Well, of course she's interested in you. You are very beautiful, and she would be interested in you.
Oh
Yeah, but one thing is being interested. Justine is kind of being all like, excuse me. But the other thing is doing this. Gwynn, you mentioned some other job she has for you. What kind of job is this?
I don't know the details, but before this, she took me to get an incredibly, it actually makes me feel sick, incredibly expensive gown for a ball weekend, in which she needs me to attend with her and, keep her distracted.
Oh, you mean like what fancy people go to?
Very, very fancy. Probably, most definitely the fanciest event I've ever been at.
Did she ask you to keep it secret?
Nope.
No, actually.
No, she didn't. She was very open about it.
Any of this secret.
No.
Gwynn, I'm really sorry. I can't let you go alone. I'm not going to go with you, but I would prefer if Uncle Gon is there somewhere, watching and observing, and we're nearby. Because all this
I don't want to go alone either.
When's the balls that she wants you to go to?
Is it Saturday? Saturday. But if Anki could come, I would feel so relieved.
Anki could come.
When you hear that Sylvia kind of seems to take a step back, and she's deliberately like looking away and just like, I'm not getting involved.
We also have the ring if anyone did fancy a little dalliance in high society.
The ring of invisibility, you mean? Maybe. So, it's at about... Sorry, guys. It's at about this time that Mina, your cab pulls up in front of this really nice-looking 3-story terrace house in a really nice part of the city. It's not quite as posh as where Aminata is, but it's a lot nicer than where you just purchased a room. So you go up, and the address was 34B Ruda, blah 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 blah. Sorry, 34C Ruda. And so you see at the front there's 3 little bells for 34A, B, and C, and your address is for 34C.
I go ching ching.
So literally, as you guys,
Wondering what the fuck are
yeah,
gonna find? Yeah.
literally, Justine, as you were just about to say what you're just about to say, you guys all hear a ringing of a bell inside the apartment. That interrupts what you were just about to say.
First time she's heard that.
Yeah.
Figures it must be, hopefully Mina, and goes and gets her.
So you
would she be outside? No, she'd be down at the.
She's at the front door. She's waiting. Yeah. So you run downstairs. A minute later, the front door opens and Gwynn is standing there.
And I'm just gonna say Mina and grab her hand and like start pulling her all the way up the flights of stairs. I have something to show you.
Okay.
And
what is happening? Like, where are we? What is this?
So we kind of land in, I don't know, the foyer or whatever.
In the living room.
The living room.
Right.
It's a really nice,
hi guys.
really nice little apartment that you've just found yourself in. Sylvia and Justine are both standing there.
Yeah, this is mine now.
That's a nice little place.
Mine and ours, of course.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, where to even start? I met Josephine today. She got me the most expensive dress I've ever seen in my life, and also this flat. Yeah. And I feel incredibly
I mean,
entitled.
basically, do you know this meme of that person that is like there with all the maths going in front of them, kind of trying to compute?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
So she's like,
yeah. I know, right? This is the problem. It makes no sense.
well, actually, it makes perfect sense.
Really?
Well, yeah, she doesn't want you to go to her house all the time, and she has to go and invite you and take you out of Aminata's place all the time. She just wants to be able to come to you, do whatever, whenever she wants.
Yes, but this is what I mean. And she turns to Justine, bird in a cage. I don't know about this. It
But
feels
also
weird.
that's a bit excessive. If I were her, I wish I was, I would have probably just, rent a hotel or a room for the night. There is no point buying an entire apartment.
If you rent a hotel, you have to go and book a hotel room, blah blah blah. If she sets her up in an apartment, then she can just pop in an evening.
Well, maybe I don't want her to pop in. Maybe I like.
So you're
She didn't
acceptable.
even ask.
You're available.
That's
Sorry,
even
am I
more
being too
unsettling.
forward?
Well, the reason I brought you all here is because I don't want to stay here on my own for the moment, and I want you all to stay here with me.
It's only
If you
one
want-
double bed. All 4 of you will, no
That's
matter
fine.
how
We can
cozy
all
you
be in
are,
bed rolls.
you won't all fit
sleeping
into
bags.
one double bed.
We're fine.
No, we'll get bed rolls. And
Yeah, I could totally
everything else.
stay here for like tonight and tomorrow night, but like on Sunday, I'm actually moving into a room of my own. I was gonna tell you about it today, but like since one of us is moving out, it's actually quite okay, so I'm not the only one. That's great. Amina's happy again.
Oh no, I loved having you with us. I hope.
Oh yeah, but we can't just mooch off Aminata all the time,
I agree.
And
I agree.
yeah, no, I found a nice little place. There's it's a lovely lady that is like renting a room out, and no, that looks really nice. And there's breakfast and dinner, and I think that'll be
so nice,
it'll be good for me.
But if you told us
This time I'll be independent, me growing up. Because I'd either be at home or I was with the guards in their barracks, or I was on my own or traveling with you guys. So like I just kind of it's time I spent some time on my own and learn about the city and French life and culture and all that. And, yeah.
Well,
yay.
I'm very excited for you. I wish we could all live together, but I'm excited for you.
Well, Mina kind of takes a little walk
It
around
would
the
be
place. It's not
nice,
like
okay?
we can all move in here, is it?
Small but cozy.
And I don't think Madame Gautlier would appreciate setting you up here and then coming in for an evening and finding us all here.
Well, I come as a package. She knows that. It's always been the way. She can't just
Does
walk
she
in
know?
here anytime she wants.
Well,
So, do you all spend the night in Gwynn's new flat?
So Gwyn will go out and get like bedrolls and
Yeah, oh, no. You have like there's the stuff that you would physically own. You had basic bedding because like it's like late in the evening at this stage.
I have
No
mine
shop is
in
going to be open.
I have mine in my goblin purse anyway, so it'll be fine. I'm fine.
Mina and Sylvia
Pulling mine out, but-
definitely have bedrolls. I don't know if Justine or Gwyn have bedrolls.
You
I'd say you
probably
see by
do,
this
but you have
point-
them in a bigger backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
know.
I
I like.
do. Yes, I do.
Do
You're
you?
not
Okay.
constantly carrying
I
them.
don't- I-
We wouldn't have brought them with us, though.
Goblin purse, Susie.
Well, like,
Sylvia has a goblin purse.
Sylvia's a goblin purse.
no, she doesn't.
Oh no, she
Yes, she does.
doesn't.
Oh no, she doesn't. Who
No,
has
she
a goblin
doesn't.
purse?
Gwyn has one
I
and
the
Mina
only
has
one.
one. Yeah. So yeah. So no, Sylvia wouldn't have brought her bedroll, and
Why did I think you had a goblin purse?
I think we just assumed, but no, you're right. So
Well, I definitely have one,
and
and
Mina
someone
has
else
one.
can stay in the bed.
Two people could comfortably sleep in the bed, and you are used to sharing beds anyway. And there are two bedrolls, so you could comfortably sleep everybody in the flat tonight.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Who needs to stay?
Sylvia's not going to sleep. She's going to stay up and read the book.
All night.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to clock in stuff, clock in time, and I'll just cast restoration on myself in the morning.
I knew you were going to do that. Okay.
I want to just. I don't know what's going to happen, so I want to just
Yeah,
start clocking
no.
in as much time as I can.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
No, that's
know.
cool.
I don't know what's gonna happen. So if we end up going off on some job, I want to have clocked in a certain amount of time.
Because if we go into a Fey mound, you could lose time.
Right.
Exactly.
So you didn't spend any mana today, did you, Sylvia? Okay,
Nope.
right. So I'm going to say I'll mark it on the calendar. That if you read, you would have gotten. We'll say you'd got up relatively early. You would have gotten 12-ish hours done. If you'd then gone to bed, if you read through the night, you get
Another 8.
yeah. So you get 20 hours read.
Cool.
Nice.
Right.
Almost a quarter.
Yeah.
I
A
think
fifth.
every
A fifth of the
student
way through.
wish they could just cast restoration
Oh,
on
fifth, yeah.
themselves the next day.
Yeah.
Sorry, Neil. I know
I
I'm
wish
game.
that I
I'm
was the student
gamifying.
like
It's
you.
okay. I don't
Yeah.
mind. So
Feelings now, but I
so
just want to clock in the
the
time.
the next morning, you guys all get up.
Yep.
Okay. Gwyn, there is a knock on the door.
Who is it?
Okay, and there's a woman. She looks to be in like in her late 50s, early 60s. Okay, and she's carrying a tray, and she's like, bonjour, this is Gwyn, ouais?
Yes, good morning.
My name is Adelaide Delaunay. I guess I am your landlady. I have your breakfast for you.
Oh, thank you. While you're here,
Madame
you come in.
Gautlier did not say there were other guests staying as she sees the rest of the group in the background.
These are my close friends and business associates. We had something to attend to.
I see.
Important business.
Mhm.
Can you tell me more about this building? Who else stays here?
Well, I am in the basement, and then there is a a young man in the first floor. He is a trainee solicitor, and then in the middle floor, there is another slightly older man who is he is he's a doctor, recently qualified.
Oh, handy. Do you know Madame Gautlier? Have you met her before?
Of course I have.
Oh, does she come here often?
Well, I mean, she has been keeping this room for many years.
Oh, and have there been many guests?
Over
Over
time,
here?
there have been other women who have stayed here.
Of course. And can you tell me how long has it been empty before I moved in here?
Approximately 5 or 6 months, I think. Yes.
Okay. And does she often come here?
When she has guests staying here, yes.
Okay. And she has keys, I assume.
Oh, the call.
Of course. Well, thank you so much. Gwynn just takes the tray, turns around, closes the door behind her.
Did we hear all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mina just looks at you, Gwynn, and said, I told you.
I don't feel good.
This is both somehow less suspicious and more creepy at the same time.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah.
Well, look at it that way. You have somewhere to stay as long as you're keeping her happy, I suppose. And when
Yes,
she's
but,
tired,
Mina,
you
that's
have
not
to find your own
entirely
space.
normal.
Well, actually, lots of men have for centuries done the exact same thing.
Yes, but Gwynn's not in that world. Nor does she want to be, even with women. So,
A very beautiful woman
Still.
who's very powerful and very wealthy.
She sure is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, we'll have breakfast and then let's get out of here.
Right. What?
Presumably there isn't enough for.
Oh no! It was a breakfast for Gwynn.
Yeah.
Her landlady very pointedly said, "I was not expecting guests."
Yeah, that's okay. We'll scavenge elsewhere.
You can get breakfast somewhere else in a cafe. It's not a problem. Okay.
We'll get more
So it is Friday. What plans do the party have for the day? If you don't, Sylvia, you're gonna go back to Amanada's to study the book, I assume.
Yeah.
And you cast Restoration.
Yep.
Gwynn, Justine, is there anything that you would have planned?
I'd say let's discuss what we need for the day after tomorrow for the ball.
Okay.
And maybe ask Aminata if she is aware of it, because she's like the most involved in this society.
She does, when you give the name of the guy, she does say that like she doesn't know him well herself, but she does know of him. He is a politician in the French government, and that his ministry titles or his ministry duties are trade mostly. As far as she knows, it was mostly England and Prussia that he was involved in trade with. So he's some sort of a trade minister.
Okay, if he's a trade minister,
sense.
Yeah.
Justine coming from a merchant family, would she know anything about him?
No, you're from a merchant family, but you're not going to randomly know this French politician, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. And I assume since Aminata and himself are not very close, and since it's such a small event, she wouldn't have any means to like get herself in there.
Oh, she could probably try to get an invite if she wanted to through her family's connections, because her father is an ambassador. So she could probably
Gwynn is going to ask her, she will.
So she could probably get an invite pretty easily. She is from the right circles.
Well, I'd feel a lot better if Aminata was there, and Anki, of course, or anyone who wanted to.
Or Aminata could just like wear the ring and invisibly wander in. Like there's that.
I'd say there's probably more sense if she's there herself, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in
Okay.
case someone has true sight or.
Yeah, exactly. Because it would be less suspicious if, like, Diplomat's daughter isn't there.
Yeah.
Rather than Diplomat's daughter just in there but invisible and hiding from someone for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Right. So that's what you guys spend the day on, yes?
Yeah.
Sylvia just left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume you grab some food because you do need food.
Yeah, but again, like she doesn't eat much of it. She
No.
eats some. But
You are relying on your magical restoration spell to keep you going.
Yeah.
Like that is
She's-
basically how you're able to
she-
function.
she eats a bit, but she's just gonna go.
So what I'm going to say is that what the restoration spell does is it mechanically relieves you of the effects of the exhaustion that you would be suffering because you forgoed a long rest. So you feel tired, but tired in the way somebody feels after studying for several hours. Not tired in the way somebody does when they are genuinely sleep deprived, and in that sense, okay? And you're able to keep going, all right? So you'd basically go back up to the room in Amanada's and you're spending the day there, yeah?
Mhm.
Cool. And Gwyn and Justine, you're plotting and planning for the day. Mina, whatever you're doing for the day, eventually
Go out for a jog in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
And,
people
get
go
my body nipple.
people go, they have dinner, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it, and then finally later on in the evening at about 8 o'clock, Mina, it's time for you to be heading out. Okay.
I will do that.
Are you
Yeah.
going to stay at your new apartment tonight?
No, I'm moving in on. It's a room in a house, with there's two other people living there, and the lady of the house, like the house mother, she cooks for us and takes care of things, which is nice. So no, I'm moving in on Sunday. But like no, I'm just heading out.
Well, I'm glad you're with us for a few more days. I'm going to miss you when you move out.
Okay.
It's not like I'm gone.
I know, but we've all been traveling
I
together
can
for so
come and
long.
visit you, and I will bring you over and show you around the area where I moved to,
Please.
because like it's full of really colorful and interesting people. And yeah,
Okay. Right.
Okay.
I
So
would say Justine, not being aware but being fairly intelligent, she kind of sort of it rubs her the wrong way. She
what
just
does?
that like Mina for some reason has to move out. She on the one hand she totally
it was
understands.
sudden.
She totally understands not wanting to leave off someone else, but at the same time she just doesn't like.
get it.
Yeah, it looks perfectly
Yeah.
reasonable, but there is still something shady about it.
Okay.
But there is nothing that Justine can.
Yeah, Gwyn is definitely going to gossip with Justine about Mina moving out. Why is she doing
yeah.
that? Why
Do you
didn't
think
she
she
tell
found?
us?
Do you think she found someone?
Oh, absolutely not.
So Justine probably would
Yeah.
have some assumptions, but they're all wrong,
Yeah.
and they're all in the wrong direction. They're all completely,
Yeah.
absolutely out
Yeah.
of place. But
Yeah.
she does kind of. She's like, huh,
Yeah.
that's kind of strange,
So
but she
sudden.
can't quite pinpoint why. Yeah, it all makes perfect sense, but yet, because like Justine's first move would be to go and talk to Aminata and be like,
Yes.
look, I don't feel comfortable. Can I pay you or something like that?
Which could have
Um,
happened. We don't know. But
yeah,
like,
which
Gwyn
could have
would have
happened.
expected Mina to probably start a conversation around it. But it's so sudden. She's like, wait, what? Now she
Yeah.
has no
Yeah.
rhyme or reason to it.
Mhm.
Doesn't even know where to start.
Mhm.
Just assumes Mina wants her own space for whatever reason.
Mhm.
But it's just like kind of mystified. Like, why didn't she come and talk to us?
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
Like, just hope she's okay.
So, with them conspiring, Mina, you head off. You get a short cab towards the center of the city, towards Notre Dame de Paris, where you were told by the man that you'd been talking to, that is where you're supposed to be going. It's dark by the time you get out there. Okay, there is the soft light of the enchanted goblin globes that major cities like
Yeah,
Paris
but I'm
use.
I'm human. I'm a spicy human. I have dark side.
Oh yeah, that's not the issue. But it's like it is dark and there is shadows in the area,
Yeah.
but you do head out. And you're kind of standing there, you're looking around for a while because you're told go to this corner of Notre Dame, and you're like, I don't know what.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to do now, and you're just standing there for a couple of minutes. Okay.
So shady.
What weapons with me? Don't you worry.
Oh, damn, not great. 4, 9. Can you give me an awareness roll, please?
Sure. That's a 14 in total.
Okay, right. So you're standing there looking around, like waiting. You're like, what the hell? When from right beside you, you hear a voice. You know, if it weren't for the green hair, I never would have pegged you as the newcomer. You're nearly as short as me. And looking to your right, you see, standing there was not there a minute ago, coming out of the shadows, this incredibly small, very, very slight young woman. Like, she is tiny. She's like maybe 150, you know? Like, really, really, really tiny. Black hair falling around this round face and like these curls, and you can see a simple ribbon to keeping it tied back. She has a pair of large golden eyes which seem to catch the light like those of a cat. She's clearly Fey Touch. You reckon probably Goblin Fey Touch, which would explain her tiny stature, wearing this long leather coat over a woolen waistcoat and linen shirt and men's slacks, similar to the clothes that Aminata wears when you're out adventuring. Okay, she says, well, pretty, let's go. Hope you can keep that smile by the end of this evening. And she leads you off.
I'm just excited. Thank you.
Leads you off down along the steps into the Seine, and then off towards a gate that, looking like it goes in the sewers, opens it up, and you make your way into the sewers and catacombs of Paris. And that is a perfect place to pause in our story. So, thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope you had as much fun as we did. We are back, regular streams now every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Dublin time. That's 9 o'clock Central European. Don't forget, we have our Kickstarter coming in March, so we please would love your support on that. You can find all of our stuff on our itch.io page, fey-earth.itch.io. We've got our Explorer's Guide to Fey Earth and early release core rulebook, a bunch of really fun one-shots with quick play guides and pre-generated characters. There is Fey Wanderer, a lovely little rules light TTRPG re-released last year. And also, we are going to be having another fun one-shot with some guest players on Wednesday the 25th. No, Wednesday the 24th. It's on our socials, okay, of January. A one-shot, lots of fun, and we'll be doing another one-shot in February, but that will be at American time zones. It will be going live at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's on, like, I think this Friday the 16th. Lots of stuff coming up, so make sure you stay tuned on our socials, Twitter and Blue Sky. And apart from that, thank you all. Good night, and we shall see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good night, all. Bye.
Bye.